Hello friends, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you'll consider subscribing to my channel if you're enjoying the instruction that I'm giving you. So I started this channel about a year ago now, which is so crazy to think about, and I just wanted to kind of give an update on my story and let you guys in on my past year, and I just want to share with you guys a little bit about me. So if this is the first video you're seeing of me, hi, I'm Megan. I'm a professional violinist and teacher located in Chicago. I'm originally from Houston, Texas. Well, guess not technically. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, and if you don't know where that is, it's basically like a suburb of Dallas. But I moved to Houston when I was 3, so I always feel like Houston is my hometown. It's where I grew up, went to high school. So I'm from Houston, basically. I started out playing the piano when I was 5. My mom was actually a musician. She wasn't a professional musician, but she played the oboe, and she also actually has her master's degree in choral conducting, which is pretty crazy. So she really valued music and music education. So I started playing piano when I was 5. Funny story. One of my first lessons that I had with my piano teacher, he asked me when my birthday was, and I told him, and we had the same birthday. And I went home and told my mom, and she did not believe me. I don't know why. She did not believe me, so she had to ask him. But yeah, anyway, we share a birthday. It was kind of funny. I started playing the violin when I was 7. So I went to a really small private school, and violin was the only other instrument offered right there at the school. They had a teacher there, and obviously that's super convenient for parents. So I started taking violin lessons then. I was raised with the Suzuki method. Now this was a long time ago, so I don't really remember learning it initially, but I know I must have listened to this CD a lot because when I started my teacher training, all of the pieces came back to me like that. I think I learned pretty fast. I was always more interested in the violin than the piano. I just could not get the hang of reading 2 clefs and playing 2 different hands at once in piano. So just not my thing. Whenever my mom asked me to practice or whatever, I would always practice violin and never practice piano. I remember my piano teacher actually getting really frustrated with me, but oops. Those skills definitely were needed in college when I was taking class piano and things like that. So definitely do not regret. I think that learning to play piano is so important, and you're going to have to do it anyway if you're going to be a music major. So definitely don't regret it, but yeah, always preferred the violin so much more than the piano. Like I said, it was a small private school. There was an orchestra, but it was mostly just violins. I think we had 1 cello player, not because he transferred from the school. We didn't have, I don't know, whatever. So, but it was fun, I had just a few friends that played with me, and I always felt like I was kind of good at it, I guess. When I was in middle school, I think I was about 7th grade, I started taking lessons from a musician in the Houston Symphony, and I also joined a youth orchestra, which I think really made a big difference, I guess. It kind of made me go like that. If you're familiar with the Suzuki method, they pride themselves in learning by ear, which I'm so grateful for, but I also did have a more difficult time reading music because of that. So putting me in the youth orchestra and forcing me to read the music, I think was so beneficial. Plus I got to meet new friends, I got to perform in cool concert halls, and I literally just thought playing violin and performing and being with friends was the coolest and most fun thing in the world. When I got to high school, I went to the High School for the Performing and Visual Arts in Houston, Texas. Beyonce went there, y'all. And some other famous people like Blue October went there. Chandra Wilson from Grey's Anatomy went there. And I absolutely loved and adored that school. If I could go back to high school, I probably, I don't know, maybe, but it was a great time. So basically we were in our art area for half the day, which means I was playing music for half the day, and then had regular academics for the other half of the day. I had just come out of a private school where things were like kind of, I guess, more rigorous, and I was honestly like super shocked at the academics there. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. But yeah, so I was basically playing an orchestra, playing chamber music, and taking theory classes in addition to my regular like school classes. And all of my friends played music. Like every single one of them was in orchestra with me. We would goof around during orchestra. We would practice in the hallways for fun. We would just like, it was so much fun. I cannot even express that enough probably, because the whole reason I went into music was because it was fun, and because I enjoyed it so much, and because I loved playing with my friends, and because I got to visit new places. I went to a bunch of different summer camps and got to go to like Canada, Virginia, I don't even remember where else, I think like Boston. And yeah, so that's the whole reason that I wanted to play music, because it was so much fun. So my senior year of high school, I applied to a bunch of different music schools, and I was accepted at almost all of them that I applied to. I was accepted at Eastman, I was accepted at Cleveland, I was accepted at Manhattan, and that is where I chose to go. I chose to go to the Manhattan School of Music. Unfortunately, MSM is like $60,000 a year, and it was just not financially possible for me at that time. And I found out too late. It was like a month or two before I was supposed to go, and so I had to take a year off of school. That year, I wish I had done more. Like, I practiced a lot, but that was basically it. And it was actually frustrating too, because I applied to schools again and I didn't get in as many places, and I was really like confused and like upset as to why that had happened, because that year actually that I took a year off, I won 2 concerto competitions, and I played the Mendelssohn Concerto with 2 different orchestras. So I felt like I was getting better, but I wasn't getting into these places. And I think it might have been because I didn't like go visit the teachers the second time. Like the first time I applied to schools, I took like 2 weeks off school and went and visited all of the schools and took lessons with the teachers and things like that. And I didn't do that the second time. So I don't know. I had basically narrowed it down to 2 schools, Indiana and UT. And I was honestly just super worried about the financial situation. So I decided to go to UT. I was in state, so it was definitely the most affordable for me. I got to UT and everything was just different. First of all, UT has a really big like doctoral program, and the majority of the students were significantly older than me as a 19-year-old freshman. There was only 2 other freshmen in my studio, and I think there was 2 in the other studio, so there was 5 of us total, and I didn't really get along with any of them, so it was just hard. I wasn't making friends, I was away from home, and yeah, it was just rough for a little bit, and I wasn't practicing, I wasn't taking care of myself, I just had not such a good time, and I was thinking like, what else can I do? I don't want to be playing music anymore because it's not fun, right? But I didn't know what else to do. I feel like I've just been doing this my whole life, and I was so far like deep in it already that I kind of had to stick with it. And so I did. I eventually found some good friends, so that was definitely helpful, but overall my time at UT was definitely not the greatest. If you want me to do a whole in-depth video on that, definitely just let me know. But when I got to my last year at UT, it was kind of like, okay, what do I do now? So I decided to apply for master's programs, and I applied to a few different schools. I think I was accepted at all of them, almost all of them. Oh yeah, there was one that I got waitlisted for that I really wanted to go to, but it's fine. And I chose to go to DePaul here in Chicago because, again, of the financial situation. They gave me a really good financial aid package, so I chose to come here to Chicago. Now, DePaul was a whole different story. Everyone at DePaul was so nice, so welcoming. I made friends super easily, and I also think it's because just I was a better, nicer person at this point too. Like, I felt like when I was at UT, I was like an young, angry, mad at the world freshman, you know what I'm saying? And then I had definitely matured and gotten older and whatever. I made friends. I really loved my teacher. My studio was so supportive. but I still wasn't, I guess, like happy. Like I didn't feel like this is like, I don't know, I guess I really wasn't happy being in school. I constantly felt judged. I constantly felt like I wasn't playing for me, you know? So your master's program is only 2 years, right? Super short. At the like end of my second year, I was kind of like, okay, well, what am I gonna do now again, you know? So I actually did apply to do my artist diploma at DePaul, and I was accepted and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, at least if I have a backup plan if, you know, nothing else comes along. That's when I also started taking my Suzuki training. We had a really great teacher, trainer come to the school. And honestly, that just like opened my eyes to, first of all, the level that students can play at, and then like how to teach well. Because I had actually started teaching back in my undergrad. I volunteered for a program called the University of Texas String Project, but I was never really serious. When I moved up to Chicago, I did get a teaching job just to kind of make like extra money. But when I took my Suzuki training, everything completely changed. My style, my expectations, it just really revolutionized my teaching. So if you are like on the fence about it, you should definitely do it. After I graduated with my master's, I was very fortunate to land a full-time teaching job, teaching with a company. I was super excited about this because I was salaried, right? So I was making consistent money. This job was a lot of work. It was going to a different school every day, and a lot of the schools were far away from me. Like I don't have a car, so I use public transportation, and it would take me like hour and a half to get to most of these schools, which is like draining by itself, right? But then on top of that, I'd be teaching for like 8 hours a day, and I would have only like a 30-minute break at like 11 a.m., you know? So it was hard, but like I said, I didn't really know anything else, right? I kind of thought that's just what everyone did, right? Like you graduate, you get a 9-to-5 job, and then you save up until you die, I guess. I don't know. So obviously the pandemic happened, right? And everything went online. And this is kind of where I left off in my other story. So while everything was going online, you know, I had always wanted to do something with social media, and I just didn't exactly know what. So I started my Instagram account. If you don't follow me, you definitely should. It's at Suzuki Violin Teacher. And I started my YouTube channel. I joined groups on Facebook, and I just started talking to people. I just started, you know, making connections, making friends. And I got a lot of new adult online students, which was amazing because up till this point, I really only taught kids. And I really, really enjoy working with the adult students. I loved it so much. I still love it. I don't know why I said that past tense. So from about March to June, I was doing all this kind of on the side, and then I was still working for the job full time. I was still teaching for them. I would have to like write out like lesson notes. I would have to film videos and things like that. So I was definitely working a lot. When the summer came around, I didn't have like as much to do. Like I still taught and things like that, but it was a lot less because the program, like the school year, was over. So that's when I got to really focus on what I wanted to do, and I created my course, the complete bow technique manual. And that was super exciting and super scary to me, but you know, I did it. I got an amazing response, and then I created the complete left hand technique manual, and then I did the vibrato intensive, and that was all during the summer. Now, we come back around to like September-ish, and my full-time job is asking me like basically what my plans are. Like, am I gonna come back full-time? Am I gonna be part-time? Like, and it's really hard to give up something that's kind of like a sure thing, you know what I'm saying? And I was so nervous about it, but I went part-time with them and really just kind of branched out on my own. I kept doing what I'm doing, building my following, reaching out to people. And now, as of March 2021, I still work part-time for a company, but the majority of my students, which I have about 50 at this point, are my own, which is pretty cool. I teach for the the majority of my students are online. Oh my goodness. And it's so nice to be able to work from home. It's so nice to do projects that you're actually passionate about and that you want to do. It's so nice to connect with other creators and do collaborations and help each other. And yeah, I never would have dreamed that my life could be like this. I think we're all always searching for something better, right? Like, there's always further heights to reach, but now I get to work from home. I have students that I love and that are passionate about playing instruments. I get to focus on my business, my social media, my other content that's I can't talk about. And really just doing, like I said, just doing things that I'm passionate about. And yeah, this year has actually really flown by, and I'm super happy with where I'm at. Like I said, always further heights to reach, but yeah. So if you are looking for a teacher, definitely hit me up. All of my information is always down in the description. You can feel free to email me or connect with me on social media. If you ever have any questions about a video that I put out, definitely comment them. If you have any requests for videos, definitely let me know as well. Thank you guys for just supporting me and coming along on this journey with me. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I probably have said this 1,000 times in this video, but I never imagined my life could be like this. And yours can too. You can create a life that you love. You might have to take a few risks. You're definitely gonna fail, but it's so worth it. Thanks for watching.